In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the Road to Oklahoma quilt block with step-by-step instructions. It's part of my Block of the Month series, and if you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. I'll put the link down below with all the details. If you're new here, my name's Stacey. Thanks so much for joining us. Let's get on and make our block. You can find a copy of these cutting instructions over on my website. I'll put a link down below. I also have a PDF pattern that you might like to purchase, and I'll put a link for that down below too. So we're going to start off by making our half square triangles 4 at a time, and I've got my A and my C piece that measure 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 square. We're just going to place them right sides together and then line up all the edges, and then I'm just going to pop some pins in to keep it in place, and I'm just being careful not to put them too close to the edge because we're going to sew around all 4 sides. So I like to put them in like this when I'm doing my half square triangles like this. Okay, now let's sew. I'm stitching at stitch length 2. I'm using wonderful confetti thread and I've got my 1/4 inch foot on. I'm just starting on the very edge and going to sew to the other side. Coming off the very edge, then what I'm going to do is just lift it up and turn it around and then start on the next side. So starting on the edge and then carrying on down this side. And then again on this side, and I'll do this for all 4 sides. Now we're going to cut from corner to corner on both sides. So I'm going to take my ruler and place it on top of those stitches right where it intersects at this top corner and the bottom corner. And then when I'm happy, I'll cut. Then I'm just going to turn it and do the same on this side. Now I can see it's moved a little bit, so I'm just going to push it back in place. Now we've got our 4 half square triangles, let's press. Now I'm just going to press the stitches on all 4 half square triangles, and then I'm going to press the seams towards our C fabric. So just opening it up, finger pressing so we don't have any creases in there, and then pressing. And I'll repeat this for all 4 half square triangles. So now for all 4 half square triangles, we have to trim them to measure 3.5 inches, and I have a 3.5 inch ruler here. I'm just going to take the diagonal line and pop it right on top of my seam there, and then trim all the excess around it. If you don't have a 3.5 inch square ruler, place the diagonal line on top of your seam and then just measure out the 3.5 inches on all 4 sides. So now I'm going to take all my pieces and place them so they match our image above. So do just double check that you do have them in the correct position, because it's very easy to accidentally have some facing the wrong way, and it's much easier to fix it now than when you've sewn them together. So now what I'm going to do is sew each of my rows together, and then once we've sewn them together, we'll then sew our rows together. So I'll set these ones aside, and I'll start with the first piece and the second, place them right sides together. Line up these edges, and I will just pop a pin in to keep it in place. And then when I've sewn these 2 pieces together, I'll take the next piece and sew that on, and then I'll take the 4th piece and sew that on. So I've sewn my rows together, and now I've placed the rows back down so they match our image above. Now what we're going to do is press our seams in alternating directions. So the top and the 3rd row will be to my left, and the 2nd and 4th row will be pressed to my right. So I'll go ahead and do that. So now I've placed my rows in the correct position again, and we're going to start by sewing row 1 and 2 together. Then we'll add on row 3 and row 4. So I'll just set those 2 rows aside. Take our first row and our second row, place them right sides together, and then I just want to find the seams and nest them. So we've got one set of seams folded and going this way, one set of seams folded and going this way. We're going to butt them up against each other, and then I like to open it up and check I'm creating a nice straight line, and when I'm happy I'll pop a pin in. I'm also making sure I've lined up these edges. Then I'll find my next set of seams and do exactly the same. Then I'll just pop a pin in at the end here and one at the beginning. So now I'll just sew along this edge, and then I'll repeat this for the remaining 2 rows. So when I come up to these seams, I just want to make sure that they're sewn in the direction that they were pressed. So I'm just keeping an eye on that and removing the pins as I need to. Okay, and now I'll just sew my 3rd row on. So I'm just going to set all my stitches. And then I am going to press them open. You can press yours however you like. I like to press them open at this stage. It is a little bit fiddly. So just press yours however you'd like to. And then I'll flip it over and give the top of my quilt block a press. And there we have our Road to Oklahoma quilt block. Isn't that a cute block? Well, I hope you liked this block, and I know that these blocks with the state names in them are always very popular, especially for the people that live in those states. So yay for Oklahoma this time. Now, if you're looking for more blocks to make, I'll put my playlist up above, and that's all the blocks that we've released so far this year. Thanks so much for watching until the very end. I really appreciate you.